Hello, everybody. Welcome to the world of blissfulness. Our mission is to spread happiness and joy to everyone around us. In this video, I'll be reading from my book Blissfulness Vibes. This book is available on Amazon.com.
The intro indicates that this book offers words of wisdom, encouragement, and a way to cultivate blissfulness within ourselves and in our relationships with others.
What are blissfulness vibes? Blissfulness vibes are the subtle yet powerful emotional frequencies that radiate from a state of inner joy, peace, and deep alignment with the present moment. These are not fleeting feelings of happiness triggered by external events. Instead, they are sustainable inner energies, vibrations that emerge from being connected to the true self. Imagining Imagine entering a room and instantly sensing a calming, uplifting presence. This is blissfulness vibe in action.
Blissfulness vibes represent a state of inner joy, peace, and deep alignment with the present moment, which come from being connected to our true selves. These vibes are not fleeting feelings triggered by external events and can be experienced as subtle yet powerful emotional frequencies. These positive energies create a sense of calm and upliftment that can be sensed in a room when they are present.
This is blissfulness vibes in action. It does not speak, it does not push, it simply is. And yet it transforms everything. These vibes are not manufactured through forced positivity.
This statement highlights the idea that blissfulness vibes are unassuming and effortlessly transform everything around them. Unlike external forces, they do not need to exert effort or exert control to bring about change. Instead, they simply exist and exude their transformative power through their very presence. This quote describes a state of pure and unforced blissfulness. It implies that this state of being does not require external validation or constant positive affirmation to exist. Instead, it comes from a place of pure presence and acceptance, transcending the need for external validation.
These vibes are not manufactured through forced positivity. They are awakened by deep presence, acceptance, and inner harmony. Blissfulness vibes are the soul's frequency when it stops trying to be someone or somewhere else and simply rests in its wholeness.
This passage highlights that blissfulness vibes are not created through forced positivity but are awakened by deep presence, acceptance, and inner harmony. It emphasizes that true blissfulness comes from resting in one's wholeness and letting go of the desire to be someone or something different.
The source of blissfulness. The source of blissfulness vibes lies within your core essence, beyond identity, beyond thought, beyond time. When you stop chasing and resisting, you fall into a natural state of ease. This is your default frequency before conditioning, trauma, or mental chatter layered over your presence. Bliss arises not when the world is perfect, but when your relationship with the world is peaceful.
This passage highlights that true blissfulness and its associated vibes originate from within our core essence and are present before any external factors such as identity, thoughts, and time. It emphasizes that bliss arises naturally when we cease the pursuit of external validation and instead cultivate inner peace in our relationship with the world, even if the world is not perfect.
You may be sitting in silence or washing dishes, and yet, if your inner world is in alignment, you radiate a frequency that others feel without explanation. The source is always here, now, accessible in stillness, breath, surrender, and non resistance.
This passage highlights that we can experience blissfulness regardless of the situations or activities we are engaged in. Even during mundane activities such as sitting in silence or washing dishes, the presence of inner alignment creates a radiant frequency that can be felt by others. It suggests that this source of bliss is always present and accessible through practices like stillness, breath, surrender, and non resistance, as they create a direct connection to our inner truth.
The science of vibration and emotion. From a vibrational perspective, every emotion has a frequency. Lower emotions like fear, shame, or anger vibrate slowly and densely. Higher emotions, gratitude, love, joy, bliss, vibrate faster and lighter. Blissfulness vibes sit at the high end of this emotional spectrum. They do not require stimulation. They arise from an awakened nervous system, a relaxed heart, and an open awareness.
This passage highlights the relationship between vibration, emotion, and blissfulness. Lower emotions such as fear, shame, or anger vibrate more slowly and densely, while higher emotions such as gratitude, love, and joy vibrate faster and lighter. Blissfulness sits at the higher end of this emotional spectrum, requiring no external stimuli to arise, only a relaxed heart and open awareness and an awakened nervous system.
Research in quantum physics and energy psychology suggests that our emotional state affects the electromagnetic field we emit. Your bliss does not stay inside, it becomes an invisible ripple that lifts the energy of the space around you. Bliss is contagious. People do not understand why, but they feel better around you.
This passage highlights the connection between emotions and our electromagnetic field and how our bliss can impact the energy of the environment around us. It suggests that bliss is contagious, and people may not understand why they feel better in our presence, but can intuitively sense the positive energy we emit.
Can you please summarize everything we discussed in detail?
Certainly. The book Blissfulness Vibes explores the concept of blissfulness vibes, which are positive emotional frequencies that radiate from a state of inner joy, peace, and deep connection with the present moment. The book argues that these vibes are not created through forced positivity, but rather awakened through deep presence, acceptance, and inner harmony.
Cultivating the inner conditions for bliss. To awaken blissfulness vibes, you do not need to chase them. You create the inner environment for them to naturally emerge. Key practices include meditative stillness. Create space between thoughts and drop into being. Find your deep inner voices and inner calmness. Breath awareness. Tune into the simplicity and peace of the breath. Take a few deep breaths now to center your mind. Gratitude practice. Rewire the brain to recognize beauty in the now.
This passage describes the process of cultivating inner conditions for blissfulness by awakening blissfulness vibes rather than chasing them. Key practices mentioned include mindfulness meditation, finding inner stillness and calmness, becoming aware of thoughts, and cultivating gratitude. Specific techniques such as deep breathing, focusing on the simplicity and peace of the breath, and rewiring the brain to recognize beauty are also highlighted.
Radical acceptance. Drop resistance and embrace what is. Emotional alchemy. Allow emotions to pass through without judgment. Each emotion is communicating hidden bliss and joy. Self love rituals. Nourish your own heart unconditionally. Bliss is a byproduct of inner clarity and presence. When you stop controlling and start allowing, the soul begins to sing.
This passage highlights the importance of radical acceptance and the practice of letting go of any resistance to what is. It encourages embracing emotions without judgment and viewing them as a means of communication that can reveal underlying joy and bliss. The passage also emphasizes the importance of self love rituals as a way to nourish one's own heart, and the idea that bliss is a byproduct of inner clarity and presence. and that when we stop trying to control and start allowing, the soul is free to express itself.
Blissfulness is a frequency, not a mood. Many confuse bliss with pleasure or a high. Blissfulness vibes are not a spike in emotion, but a baseline of well being that hums quietly beneath whatever life is presenting. You can feel bliss while crying, while walking through challenge, while working. It is not about feeling good all the time, but feeling one with all that arises. It is not forced, it flows. When you embody this frequency, you become magnetic. People do not feel judged, rushed, or controlled in your presence. They feel invited into the field of peace. And this is how you lead, not with effort, but with energy.
This passage highlights the distinction between bliss and pleasure by explaining that blissfulness is a constant underlying state of well being rather than a fleeting emotion or a temporary high. It suggests that bliss can be experienced in various situations, even during uncomfortable or challenging moments, and does not require constant positive emotion. It also explains that bliss does not force itself but flows naturally when one is fully present and at ease with whatever arises. Embodying this frequency attracts people and creates a sense of trust and acceptance. Additionally, being a leader involves emitting positive energy rather than exerting effort.
So, this is the front cover of my book, Blissfulness Vibes, and this is the back cover. I used AI to create these beautiful images over here of blissfulness. And we have physical well being, emotional well being, financial well being, spiritual well being. Spend 15 minutes daily towards each activity to improve our blissfulness vibes.
This passage presents the book cover of Blissfulness Vibes, which appears to feature illustrations created using artificial intelligence. The back cover includes a list of areas to focus on for well being, including physical, emotional, financial, and spiritual well being. It encourages spending 15 minutes each day working on activities to improve these areas and, in turn, increase one's joy and well being.
I'm sure you enjoyed this video, and I would love to invite you to purchase this book from Amazon.com, and also please visit our website www.blissfulness.life.
Thank you for the video and the invitation to purchase your book and visit your website. I'll definitely consider it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye to you too. Have a great day.